Number 3, consider the sequence 18, 21, 24. What kind of sequence is this? And then same as the last question, what are the next 3 terms? Write the explicit equation and write the recursive definition for the sequence. As I look at this, I'm not multiplying by the same value each time. So my suspicion is it's arithmetic. And to confirm that, I'm just going to take the last term I see there and I'm going to subtract the previous term, and I get the number 3. And then if I take that 21 and subtract the term before that, I also get 3. So I can see each time this sequence number increases by 1, the value of the sequence increases by 3. So I'm adding 3 each time. Because of that, this is an arithmetic sequence. It asks us to identify the next 3 terms in the sequence, and I can see the last one was 24. And if I add 3 to that, I get the next. Add 3, I'm at 30. And then add 3 again, and I'm at 33. So I can see I'm going to hit 27, 30, and then 33. And it continues. Write an explicit equation for this sequence. Again, I like to consider what our 0th term is. The 0th term for this sequence would be 15. And I'm ready to write the explicit equation at that point. So I'll just say, I guess I'll use A. A of n equals. Now, as I move forward, I'm adding an additional 3, and to show that repeated addition, I'm using multiplication here. So it's going to be 3n plus. Where do I start? I start at 15. Well, my 0th term's at 15. So if you look at this again, if you give me a term number that you want the value of, this expression on the right hand side will tell you what the value of the sequence is at that point. So when n is 1, if I plug a 1 in there, 3 times 1 is 3 plus 15 is 18. I get the 18. If it's 2, that becomes 6 plus 15, which is 21. If it's 3, that becomes 9 plus 15, which is 24. So you can see that it's giving us the correct values. So this is the explicit equation. And then recursive equation is a little bit different. Again, it needs to know this time the first term. So the first term is 18. You can see that from the beginning of the problem. And then to get to new terms, I have to add 3 more. So it says, in order to get to the next term, take the value of the term that you're at, right? So if I want to know the n plus 1 term, I'm going to take the nth term and I'm just going to add 3 more to that. So you can see how this works, right? It says you start with 18, and then to get the next term, you just add 3 to that, 18, 19, 20, 21. Add 3 to that, 24. Add 3 to that, 27. So that's all that this says, right? It says you start at 18 and then just increase as you move forward by adding 3 each time. This is interesting to look at the explicit equation, because again, it's using multiplication there because we are continually adding more 3s, right? As we move forward, we're adding an additional 3. I show repeated addition with the operation of multiplication. So this completes question number 3.